I thank the chairman and the ranking member for their support. For far too long, our country has failed to give women service members and veterans the recognition they have rightfully earned and deserve for their service and commitment to protecting this nation. For my friends and colleagues who may not know, women have served in the U.S. military since the Revolutionary War. And long before women could formally serve, hundreds of women disguised themselves as men for the opportunity to serve in the armed forces. Hundreds of thousands of women answered the call to serve in World War I and World War II in any way they could. And following these invaluable contributions, women finally became permanent members of the armed forces in 1948. Now there are 2 million women veterans living in the United States, and women comprise the fastest growing subpopulation of both the military and veteran populations. Women service members now make up 20% of military personnel, and because of this, the women veteran population is projected to grow to 18% of the total veteran population by 2040. And yet, they still fail to receive the recognition they deserve for their service to our nation. While millions of women have served in the U.S. military, only two of VA's 1,293 healthcare facilities have been named after these brave and courageous Americans. That's simply unacceptable. So in November 2020, I convened a panel of highly qualified service members, veterans, and community leaders to collaborate on recommendations to rename the San Diego Veterans Affairs Medical Center. The panel included a wide variety of local stakeholders from organizations like the American Legion, Military Order of the Purple Heart, Disabled American Veterans, and Veterans of Foreign Wars. After an extensive effort, considering many incredible women veterans who have served our country with distinction, the panel chose Captain Jennifer M. Moreno, a highly decorated combat veteran from San Diego, who was killed in action during a deployment to Afghanistan in October 2013. Jennifer Moreno was born in San Diego and was raised in Logan Heights by her single mom after the early loss of her father. While attending San Diego High School, Moreno was an active member of the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps for all 4 years, which is a Department of the Army honor unit with distinction, the highest rating by the Army. Following her graduation from the University of San Francisco with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing in 2010, Moreno received her commission in the U.S. Army as a second lieutenant nurse corps officer. She was deployed to Afghanistan in June 2013 with the Army 75th Ranger Regiment, where she was attached to a Joint Special Operations Task Force as a cultural support team member. Just 3 months into her first tour, while on a night mission in Kandahar province to capture a high-value target, 4 explosive devices were triggered. Moreno endured these explosive devices, including a suicide explosive at a range of no more than 25 meters. Moreno then reportedly heard 2 orders. One was a call to help a wounded soldier struck by a blast. The other was a command to stay put in case she was to strike another mine in the area. She did not hesitate to respond to the call for help. As she made her way to help a fallen soldier, she triggered the 5th explosion, which tragically ended her life on October 6, 2013. Moreno was the first nurse cultural support team member to die in action, and part of her legacy is the number of young women coming from medical fields, seeking out voluntary assignments to join the cultural support team. Jennifer Moreno was promoted posthumously to captain and was the first combat casualty to be buried at Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery in San Diego since the post-9/11 conflicts began, receiving full military honors. I was honored to visit her gravesite earlier this year. The panel also recommended that a prominent space within the San Diego VA Medical Center be named after U.S. Navy Captain Kathleen M. Bruyere, a longtime San Diego resident who helped shape the military's policies on sexual discrimination and was instrumental in expanding opportunities for women in the Navy. In 1977, Bruyere joined 5 other women officers who sued the United States Secretary of the Navy and the United States Secretary of Defense over restrictions that prevented women from serving on combat aircraft and ships. This led to the 1948 Women's Armed Services Integration Act being struck down as unconstitutional, overturning a ban on women serving at sea. In 1987, as Special Assistant to the Chief of Naval Operations for Women's Policy, Bruyere helped conduct an examination of the status of Navy women, including career opportunities and complaints of sexism. The study led to 9,000 sea duty and command jobs opening up for women on 24 combatant ships. Briere retired from the Navy as a captain after 28 years of service in 1994, and last year she passed away and was buried at Miramar National Cemetery with full military honors. This bill expresses the sense of Congress that VA should follow through with the panel's recommendation to honor Captain Briere. Although this effort does not make up for all the appreciation women veterans and service members are still owed, it's my great hope that this token of gratitude inspires similar recognition across the country. I want to thank Army veteran and Carlsbad resident Karen Brennan, who led this effort and exercised strong leadership in bringing stakeholders together to make recommendations for women veterans with ties to the region who are among the worthiest of receiving this honor. But most of all, I'm grateful for the service of Captain Jennifer Moreno and Captain Kathleen Briere. It is my honor to share their stories on behalf of the local veterans who recommended this renaming, and I look forward to this legislation passing the House and becoming law. Thank you, and I yield back.